The intent, implementation and impact of the unit of work on dance and physical education. There's often a recurring questioning of the importance of PE within the national curriculum in comparison to other wider curriculum and core curriculum subjects. Physical education within the modern world, however, is more important than ever, with the government stating that keeping active and taking part in sports is important for children's personal development, as well as being important for their mental and physical health. Sport and physical activity can boost our ability to cope with challenges and increase our resilience. PE is therefore a vital part of a broad and balanced education. Furthermore, with nearly a quarter of children in England being obese or overweight by the time they start primary school aged 5, and this rising to being 1/3 by the time they leave at aged 11, physical education within the school curriculum provides children with the opportunity to live healthy and active lives and promote a healthier attitude and lifestyle within adult life. With this in mind, schools must provide a physical education programme that promotes positive experience of physical activity and games at a young age so that the lifetime habit and enjoyment of exercise is continued through into adult life. The aims of the national curriculum is to develop competence to excel in a broad range of physical activities, for children to be physically active for sustained periods of time, to engage in competitive sports and activities in order to lead healthy and active lives. The benefits of physical education for children in school covers a plethora of domains. When successfully delivered and taught within a safe and comfortable environment, physical education can provide youngsters the psychomotor, cognitive and affective skills for a lifetime of physical activity. The World Health Organization states that alongside obvious health benefits, physical education also provides numerous social, psychological and academic benefits, such as enhanced academic performance, because movement can be used as a way to reinforce the understanding of many subjects taught in the classroom. Kinesthetic learning of another subject content helps children to grasp concepts that they may struggle to grasp in the classroom environment. Stress reduction activity helps us to relieve stress and tension and depression, also resulting in better attention in the classroom. And social development, because sports and physical activity is an excellent way to meet and make new friends. And finally, of course, the adoption of healthy behaviours and emotional expression. With all of this in mind, the intent of my unit of work is to focus on teaching core content and skills that promote self-confidence and enjoyments of physical activity, in this specific case within dance. Because it's far too common an occurrence that children are disengaged with PE due to embarrassment or a lack of self-esteem due to not being taught the fundamental motor skills properly, and instead are just taught rules of the game. Therefore, the midterm focus for my Year 2 class is to use fundamental movement development through dance, and my choice for this being that dance is a fundamental avenue to develop key movement skills and apply movement concepts. It provides children with an array of opportunities to practice and master a range of basic motor skills that are imperative to enjoy sports and games into adult life. So when planning, I needed to think about both what is going to be taught and how it will be taught. The National Curriculum for Key Stage 1 states that pupils should develop fundamental movement skills and be taught to perform dances using simple movements. And Graham's skill theme and movement pedagogy supports this aim of the National Curriculum and promotes teachers to focus on building sufficient capability and confidence in fundamental movement skills such as running, jumping, throwing and leaping, alongside developing strong skills in coordination, balance and agility. It's not until such skills are grasped that children can be introduced to a sport or a game. With this in mind, it's imperative for me to understand the fundamental skills involved in the successful participation of dance, so that my midterm plan included lessons that ensure all children benefit from them and are comfortably challenged and also have fun whilst doing it. Balance is a core motor skill that's heavily involved in dance movements, so I decided to focus on lessons that promote basic motor skills such as leaping, hopping, jumping and sidestepping. Such basic motor skills and capability and balance is a fundamental part of several major other sports. For instance, the skill of jumping is a core part of games such as netball and basketball, and leaping part of long jump. Graham's movement analysis framework, known more commonly as the wheel, works alongside the skill theme approach that we've just discussed. And Graham explains the relationship between the two, such as the skill themes can be seen as the verbs, as they are movements that are performed, whilst the movement concepts are the adverbs, so they're always modified. So to put it simply, they describe how the skill will be performed: fast, slow, high, etc. It's also imperative for a teacher's subject knowledge to be high and be able to assess their students in order to build a successful midterm plan. And Graham's progression spirals that he makes for each skill theme is a fantastic tool that can be used as a framework to build your own to then successfully assess your class and plan suitable lessons. The progression spiral works from the bottom up, and the pre-control level is the starting point for most children, depending on the ability or if they have SEND or need support. The control levels when new skills start to be developed that may not have been grasped previously, but have been introduced through another task or activity. The utilisation level is when more complicated skills are introduced and learnt, whilst the proficiency level is not always met by every student in the class, but is a good way to challenge those who are the high attainers. So it's clear that quality PE education is designed to introduce youngsters to fundamental movement skills, these building blocks of enjoyable participation in physical activity. Children's enthusiasm for PE, I think, is often maybe due to a change of environment from the classroom and the chance that students may already possess the skills necessary for that current stage of physical education. But this means that so many lessons being taught do not successfully promote and reach the lifelong skills and the core basic motor skills. It's apparent there exists a plethora of misconceptions when it comes to both the recognition and the teaching of physical education. PE is often only valued in the school curriculum as an important way to exercise, and this consequently leads to PE not being need to be planned and taught in the same way as other subjects in the curriculum are done, as it's just a time for children to have fun and run about. This also leads to so many teachers falling into the trap that their core subject knowledge is not needed in order to successfully teach a physical education lesson. So furthermore, in order to successfully achieve the aim to have all children enthusiastic and confident of their abilities, I need to include strategies that promote inclusion. And Article 29 in UNICEF's Convention of Child Rights and Goals of Education states that education must develop every child's personality, talent and abilities to the full. This can be achieved by keeping in mind the 3 C's work of Steele, Morris and Sinclair. The 3 C's stand for change, challenge and choice, and is a pedagogical tool used to make your current scheme of work more accessible to all children. The principle focuses on taking an existing game or activity and make it inclusive to your target group by changing it to open up access, by implementing more complex options to challenge the more able movers and thinkers, and also embed choices through your delivery and the progressions to and throughout the game or rules. So with all of this in mind, I made 3 critical decisions when planning my midterm session for the Year 2 class. Most school classrooms will have children with SEND, and it's really important to provide activities and tasks that can be easily changed and adapted so that no child is left behind. So the inclusion of paired work and notes of letting them take part in the activities away from loudspeakers is a great way of doing this. Another critical decision is resourcing and timing, as often time is lost and children disengage with the content when there's numerous changes of stations and equipment. So by focusing the lessons on getting to them to express the emotions and actions through body movements and providing links to suitable music results in less stoppage time and continued engagement. And finally, my last critical decision used the complexity principle of reflecting and inquiring to flush out tensions that may arise in lessons. By including key questions in both the main tasks and as a form of assessment, it allows the lesson to remain ambiguously bounded. Dance should give children freedom in their movement, confidence in their movement, and of course, overall enjoyment of dance. And therefore the lesson plans should be able to grow and change with the students, depending on how they respond to the main activities and tasks. When it comes to the impact, the use of Graham's progression spirals provide access to children's generic level of skill proficiency in each lesson as a great means of assessment. Using whole class records like the ones provided by Roehampton is a really great way of assessing what level each child is in each lesson, whether that be the pre-control, the control level, utilisation level or proficiency level, so that you can then successfully adapt whole lessons or tasks to suitably challenge and support each student. Alongside the assessment of GLSP, the use of effective questioning is another great way to monitor. Effective questioning at each stage of the lesson provides evidence of each child's cognitive ability and understanding, and this allows for the teacher to give instant feedback and adapt tasks and explanations where needed. To conclude, my initial ideas of what a successful physical education midterm plan should contain were laden with misconceptions. This is most likely due to my own personal experience within PE, and furthermore a lack of subject knowledge and pedagogical skills. But my further reading of Graham's skill theme and movement pedagogy helped me to understand the importance of developing key basic motor skills within the primary school curriculums, the importance of physical education within the curriculum, and of course how to teach PE using the skill theme concept, the movement concept and progression spirals to create lessons that are accessible to all students whilst continuing to promote confidence within a range of movements and skills through appropriate challenges.